In this discussion, we're going to talk about peace and joy and how can we receive peace and joy once again due to things that may have happened in our lives. Maybe we are going through a bad breakup in an intimate relationship, or maybe we are having issues in an intimate relationship and that has robbed us of joy and peace. Maybe we have had a financial hardship and that has robbed us of peace and joy, or maybe something in our health and we have become surprised by this and joy and peace are no longer resonating with us. And so in this discussion, we're going to go over some very helpful things that we can do so that we can get our peace and joy back. Here is one of the first approaches that we can take in order to find balance once again for peace and joy. And I believe strongly that healing our past wounds can help us propel forward to live a more fulfilled life. And this healing journey process takes time and patience. And what can be involved in this process is forgiveness. Maybe today you are still being so hard on yourself from something in the past or something that may have happened to you that was out of your control, or maybe it was and you continue to beat yourself up for it. And one of the first things that we must do in order to get past this particular stage is start the healing process. And what does this look like? This could look like getting professional help, getting an expert or a psychologist to help you out, maybe a spiritual teacher, or maybe even self-education is all over the place that is at our fingertips, that we can get the help that we need. But what we want to do here is not just tell you to get help. We want to provide you something like an exercise. One such exercise that we can practice is that of thinking of that old person that did commit that thing that we are not proud of, and we are trying to grow, we are trying to heal from it, and we begin to have positive thought about that we cannot convict an innocent person that has committed something in the past if they have truly and genuinely forgiven themselves and know that they have grown from it. And so this is why we said a little earlier that we should not be so hard on ourselves. Perhaps we are having some shame due to something that has robbed our peace and joy. And I like to address shame because that is an indication that you have spiritually awakened. What do we mean by this? When you feel bad about something that has taken your peace and joy, and it's your responsibility, but you have become accountable, you have become mature, you have become emotionally mature and spiritual in a sense that you have taken care of that thing in the past, and you are still feeling some shame. Well, let that just be a reminder that you are now a different being and you are not that old person anymore. Forgive that person in the past. Now you are more spiritually awakened and you are now moving forward to becoming more spiritually fulfilled. If you are gaining some spiritual insight in just these few minutes of this video, subscribe to Survivorneers for more spiritual insights in the future. Stick with me in these next two techniques or methods that we can use to begin to establish our peace and joy again. And stay with me for the last one because it is very important that we do this daily. So the next one that I want to talk about for gaining back our peace and joy is guarding the heart. In this world that we live in, it is chaotic, it is full of mess, it is full of problems, it is full of hardship, and all these things are attacking us from all sides and trying to break our spirit. And if we are not prepared for these things, guarding the heart, and we'll explain here in a moment what we mean by this, then we will be broken and definitely in a state of non-peace and joy. We will be unhappy. We will feel miserable. We will feel chaotic in everything that we are doing. And so what do we mean by guarding the heart? There is an old proverb that says, guard the heart because out of the heart are the issues of life. The heart makes reference to that deep inner being. It's that spirit that we need to feed every day. It's that spirit that we need to maintain so that we will not let the ego take over. The ego that is always trying to tell us to do things otherwise if we were in our right consciousness. The ego is always trying to survive by trying to get a rise out of you to maybe react to something. The ego is always trying to survive by making you unhappy and robbing your joy and your peace and throwing you off balance. And this is why the old proverb says, protect the heart, because where consciousness lives, it lives in that light where there is true peace and joy. And consciousness teaches us to operate from a state of normalness. And what we also need to embrace is that consciousness is separate from the ego. In the human constitution, we are mind, body, and spirit. The mind is that tool that we use every day for daily living, and we make decisions with it. The body, of course, is what we need to take care of daily by exercising and feeding it good food so that we can have energy and good blood flow. And also, we are made up of spirit, which I believe to be one of the most important parts of the human constitution. The spirit is what can fortify us to be ready for many things and struggles in life. And when we further think about consciousness, it's that state of being that is not subject to time or matter. In other words, I believe it to be eternal. It's intangible. It is something that is always constant. And this is why when we said that consciousness is separate from the ego, it cannot live in darkness. Consciousness, in a sense, in its essence, is light and life. And it cannot live in a state of darkness. And so the two cannot mix. And so one must operate by itself and the other must operate by itself. So when these problems come in life, we do not want to use our regular mind, which is the tool for daily living. We do not want to react out of the physical body or what we are feeling as a negative emotion, maybe in our stomach, and we cannot handle that feeling that we are having, so we react to it. And so what we have left as a powerful spiritual solution is consciousness. And that will teach us how to get our joy, how to get our peace back. And there is a negative energy out there in the world that has come to rob us of all these things, to take away our happiness. But yet consciousness is here for us. This is the logical part of the entire mind, body, and spirit working in conjunction and in unity for us to conquer everything that can come into our lives. So if your joy, if your peace has been taken from you, now take it back spiritually with the strength that you have within you. If you have made it to this part of the video, I thank you, because it is important to gain our happiness and our peace and joy back if that has been taken from us. And I want to leave you with this. In order for us to begin the healing process, and in order for us to utilize our spiritual being and the power that we have, we also have to be thankful and express gratitude every day. In other words, we live in a mindset and also in our being in abundance. It may sound like I am thankful that I am spiritually abundant. I am thankful that I am financially abundant. I am thankful that I am well. and that I have my health. And of course, again, things may want to enter into our being to take that away. And it is up to us to put a stop to that and begin to fill our lives with gratitude and begin to fill our lives with thankfulness. And if we practice this every day and put it into action, just as the word wisdom suggests, knowledge and understanding applied, we then will slowly but surely gain our peace and joy back. If you like spiritual content like this, subscribe to Surviving Ears.